Hello friends, welcome to the December Aquarius reading. I hope you all are having a great December so far. One more. Looks like we have the Four of Swords. That one did not quite pop. More swords, Five of Swords in the reverse, and that one came out with the Emperor. Interesting. Okay, and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, yeah, interesting progression to start with. Now I'm making a dang mess, sorry. Okay, so as I said, we start with the Four of Swords here. Now with this one, it's kind of like a rest, thinking things over, maybe planning, but mostly the feeling here is rest. You could be recuperating from whatever has just happened. You know, Thanksgiving just happened, so maybe there was some kind of event that occurred. And I mean, if you're finding this in the future, past the holidays, maybe it was something in the holidays. Regardless, I am getting just this overall sense of rest. Very much needed rest. It could have been that, you know, just this whole year, it's been a lot for a lot of people. Not even just this year, like last few years. So it could just be that like soul resetting, recuperation, rest. But that's where it feels like you're at today. The Five of Swords in the reverse, as I said, paired with, that came out wonky, with the Emperor. Five of Swords in the reverse is kind of like, it's a card of change and like being open to whatever that change may be. So then when paired with the Emperor in particular, it could go a few ways. I was first drawn to like the meaning of a solid foundation, and when paired together, it's almost like there's some kind of foundational change. What does that mean? Not that either of these particularly points to like a religion or spiritual aspect or anything like that, but when we're talking about our foundations, that can be one of the biggest foundational blocks that people have. I don't mean like a block, I mean like a block. The foundational stone, right? That they're building the rest of their life on. When we look at it that way, it could be a lot of different things, right? It could be your belief system. It could be the skills that you've built up on the basis of some gifts that you were born with. Whatever it may be, it feels like a big systemic change, though, within your being. I don't mean like externally in society or anything, though we need a lot of that too. But it feels like you're right on the precipice of like a really big internal change. The kind of change that does come from this big rest, right? After something big happens. So somewhere maybe in this rest and recuperation, you are finding where some of those foundational things just don't really align anymore with who you are or who you want to be for the rest of your life, or just won't facilitate what you want for the rest of your life, right? A lot of times when we are looking at how we want our life to look and trying to get into that manifestation energy of like, how can I make this happen? A lot of times we have to be a completely different person to make that happen. That's not a bad thing. It's just, it takes a lot of work. Yeah, it can be a lot, that's all. The other side of it is that, the Emperor can be like an authoritarian figure in your life, or like a father figure in your life also. So it may be that that person who holds that role in your life, it's about to go through some change. So whether that be it just kind of, I have multiple thoughts going at the same time. We'll stick with that first. The father figure could be changing, whether that be there's a loss of your father figure, not necessarily by way of physical death, but sometimes that does happen. It could just be that they're exiting your life, right? The other part, though, that was kind of trying to come in at the same time is that there could be a layer of past resentment with this father figure or authoritative figure in your life. And you're recognizing that that's not something that you want to carry into where you're going. And that's okay. In a way, that can be a loss too, right? When you're letting go of certain relationships, you can love someone and still know that you need to let them go. So yeah, a few different ways that could go. The Queen of Pentacles that came out. Queens typically can be like a mother-like figure. So it could be that, we're looking at your family structure here, and it seems like everything's getting shaken up a little bit. The father figure is the one that stands out as like the disruptor. The mother figure is here trying to hold everything together, and you're just kind of needing a rest from all of it. When you look at it as a whole, that's the feeling that I'm getting. Looking at the Queen of Pentacles on its own, though, can be a little bit different. If we're looking at it as like looking into your future, like this has been the preset, like where you've been, how everything's been going, the immediate future. The Queen of Pentacles is more like an outcome if we're looking at it that way. And in that sense, it seems like you're coming into a more peaceful chapter in your life. Things are kind of coming together more. You might be finding a certain amount of prosperity within your material realm. So meaning like your home life, your career, right? It could be just that. Yeah. It could be that things will be more practical moving forward rather than what it has been. I was gonna start detailing it out, but there's a lot of things that it could have been where now it's moving in a calmer direction. That's really what it feels like, a more stable position. And that's wonderful news, especially when you're in this kind of energy where you just feel like you need the rest, maybe a little bit worn out, maybe overwhelmed from everything that has led you to this, right? So yeah, a lot to unpack there. I'm looking forward to the extended reading because we'll be able to dive deeper into that. For now, let's go ahead and pull an advice card in case you don't follow over to the extended. It's just a good way to, give a little bit of insight or just a nice word to carry you through, right? Hairball. That's unexpected. Look at it. Okay, sorry, I don't mean to laugh at this whole reading, this situation, any of that. It literally is just the card. Very unexpected. But of course, as I'm laughing at it, it's telling me that, like, it makes perfect sense. This whole situation feels like a hairball. If you're a cat, it's a normal part of your life, and it can be uncomfortable, or at least it can sound uncomfortable, even if it's not, like, even if you don't perceive it as being uncomfortable. From the outside, people can tell that there's something going on that is not favorable. And there's also a sense of, like, purging, or, you know, getting rid of. Because inevitably a hairball comes back up, and us humans clean it up and put it in the trash. Or, you know, it ends up outside, but it becomes a waste product for the cat as an animal. As a human in this situation, though, there will come a day that this part of the situation will be in the past, and whatever you might feel or not feel going through the situation right now, you will move on, and I don't think it'll be terribly difficult. So whatever feelings you have wrapped up with, maybe even the purge, that letting go within your life, sometimes we can feel guilty about that, especially when it's family or someone that we hold in high regard. We can feel guilty, or like an anticipatory grief. But on the back end, this silly oracle card is letting me know that, like, it's gonna be okay. And on the back end, you might not feel what you think you're gonna feel, or what you do feel on the front end, right? And that's okay. However you end up going through it, it's okay. So don't doubt that. We'll end with that. As I said, I'm excited to see the clarifying cards and see what else we can kind of unpack from this situation to potentially help. But yeah, thank you for being here, regardless of if you follow over to Patreon or not. I very much appreciate you viewing, and if this brought some nugget of help, please do like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, wherever you're led. And I look forward to reading for you again real soon. I love you lots.